this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is my Pansy Petals, and this is series number 4. Now, the first one, we did the inking of the petals on die cut white paper, and it looked like this, and I had all these samples. So go back to that video from February 30th. So I've got all this on a video. And then the second one was where we die cut on solid paper and we lined them up. And then Pansy Patch Series 3 was we were die cutting on the DS paper. And then today, like I said, we are stamping it using the Pansy Patch stamp onto white paper and using die cuts to cut that out. And the fifth and final card, which will be the next video, we're just going to be stamping and no die cutting. So this is the card we're going to do today. But before I show you how to do the card, I'm going to show you a very similar technique to when I did this with just the inks. So I started out with pale pink, and I kind of didn't like how the pale pink was looking. So I changed over to Blushing Bride, and I didn't like that either. So then I switched to Pale Papaya. So here's Pale Papaya with Pacific Point, Night of Navy, Magenta Madness, Cherry Cobbler, Poppy Parade, and Gorgeous Grape. And I'll take a picture of these and I'll also put it in the video and stuff. Next we've got Pale Papaya and Melon Mambo, Bermuda Bay, Real Red, Coastal Cabana, Polished Pink, Gorgeous Grape, which we're going to use in the card, Fresh Frieza and Bermuda Bay, which we also use in the card. Here's Highland Heather, Pacific Point, Coastal Cabana, Poppy Parade, and Magenta Madness. Then I switched over to Daffodil Delight. So here's with Coastal Cabana, Polished Pink, Calypso Coral, Real Red, Rich Razzleberry, Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, Pacific Point, that's really pretty, Mary Merlot, Magenta Madness, Fresh Frieza, Poppy Parade, Gorgeous Grape, Blackberry Bliss, Balmy Blue, Cherry Cobbler, Pool Party, Cinnamon Cider, and Bermuda Bay. So you can see how all the other colors work with your base. So I mean, some look a little muddy, some like get washed out, like this with Pool Party, obviously, because that's a light color. And I tend to go toward darker colors with the light, like Pacific Point, Daffodil Delight. The one in the card, so we've got Fresh Frieza, Bermuda Bay, Magenta Madness, Pale Papaya, and Fresh Frieza and Gorgeous Grape. And I'll have a picture of all these on my website and in the video somewhere, and you'll find them. And here's kind of all my samples. Now, the first person that places a Pansy Patch Suite order will get all my samples for free. So that's kind of cool. So if you're looking for the suite or even just the bundle, I will mail these out to you. So that's kind of neat to have all these colors when your suite arrives. So that's something for free. So that's cool. So now let's go ahead and make the card. So here's our 3 colors that we're going to be using for the pansies. And then of course we're going to be using the Pansy Patch stamp, the pansy dies, and also scalloped contours. And also, if you buy the suite, the Pansy Patch Suite, I'll give you 1 each of all my demo cards on top of it. And there's a 5th card that I just haven't made yet, so there'll be 5 cards. So the 5 cards, all the samples will be free. So let's go back to making the card. So we're going to make the stem first. So there are actually 3 stems. There's one here, and one here. And I'm going to use Evening Evergreen, and I'm just going to stamp out 3 stems for us to die cut. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Now for the leaves, we're going to start with the backgrounds. And the background on the leaves are right here and here. And that stem, by the way, is right here. And we're going to do the soft succulent first. And then we're going to be doing the overlay in evening evergreen. So I'm going to stamp out 3 of this size leaf and then 3 of the smaller leaf. And now we're going to take the overlay part and we're going to do evening evergreen. And I'm going to have to stick my head in the camera a bit. And you got to look at it and go like that. And then take the smaller one. And I'm going to stick my head in here again and go like so. So I'm going to stamp the other 2 and I'll be right back. Now we're going to stamp out the flowers. So I'm going to use Pale Papaya and Magenta Madness first. And we're going to be using these 4 stamps. So this is the background, and here's the overlay, and here's the background, and here's the overlay. So these 4 stamps are lined up here. So here's the bottom one, and I'm going to take it in Pale Papaya, and I'm going to stamp it right here. Then I'm going to take its detail in Magenta Madness, and I'm going to stick my head in the camera, sorry. And I'm going to go over like so. Then I'm going to go back to the Pale Papaya and use that 3rd stamp like that. And then the smallest one in Magenta Madness like so. Now it does come with a little thing to go in the middle if you wanted to stamp the middle, but I liked using the pearls here, so we're not going to be using this tiny little stamp. So that is this flower. Now I'm going to change colors here, but before I do that, I want to clean these stamps in between. So I like to just kind of stamp them off, put them on my chamois in its case here so it stays moist for a couple days, and then stamp it out again because sometimes this gets really dirty. So stamp it, clean it, stamp it, make sure there's nothing on it. So clean all 4 between your colors. Now I'm going to do Fresh Freesia and Bermuda Bay. So let's get our Fresh Freesia, and we're going to stamp it like that. And then Bermuda Bay. I'm going to stick my head in the camera, sorry. And you're just looking right over it and match it up like so. Back to the Fresh Freesia, match it up, and back to the Bermuda Bay like so. There you go. Now for the last flower, we're going to use Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Grape. So here's our Fresh Freesia, and stamp it, and then Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to stick my head in the camera, line it up, and stamp. And then Fresh Freesia. And last but not least, Gorgeous Grape. And there are the 3 flowers. We're going to jump to the inside just because I'm stamping here. And you're going to take your scalloped contours and take the 3rd largest or the 3rd biggest, it goes either way, and cut this out in basic white. And then we're going to take our magenta, and we're going to be using the stamp here, Love You Much, and go ahead and stamp that in magenta. Now we do have one more stamping, and it's on the front, but I can't really do it until we do the rest. So there's most of the stamping. Now we're going to die cut all this. So as for the dies, you're going to be using the outline one. So the large flower is the large one here, and then we've got 2 different ones for the leaves, and then also the stem right there. Now we didn't add on an extra stem, but if we did, it would be this tiny one here. Also, if we stamped out the tiny little flower, it would be this one here. And of course, the smaller of the 2 pansies would be this one here, but we didn't do that one. So let's take these and cut them all out. So here's all our pieces cut out. Now when you cut these out, make sure you put a little piece of tape on the die when you run it through so they don't wiggle around. So now let's go to the card base. We're going to take a 5.5 by 4.25 in Highland Heather, and we are going to also use Beauty of the Earth. And this is the sky one, and just make sure when you cut it that the sky is going horizontal. And we're going to take this and we're going to snail it on. Then you're going to grab your scallop contours and this long piece here, and we're going to do about 1 inch here. And I'm kind of just guessing off the, yeah, I can kind of tell what 1 inch is. I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to put it down and I'm going to die cut this out. So when you take that, we're going to hold on to this piece here. Just very carefully remove your tape. And I am, of course, using my delicate frog tape here. I love this stuff. All right, we're going to put this to the side. Then you're going to take a piece of the pansy paper here, and that piece we just cut off. And I'm using the teal, it's not actually the pink, it's the teal tape here. I use it a lot for masking because it just doesn't stick. And we're going to take that piece and we're going to use this Pansy Petals DS paper, which is cut 5.5 by 4 3/16 because I want it a little shy of where the card folds. And I'm going to take that with that masking tape. So don't use tape, use some kind of masking tape, which the teal one from the big box store, not the pink one here. And we're going to put it over like so. Then we're going to take this die here and we're going to put it on, and we're going to take a piece of tape and we're going to die cut it like that. We're going to take this piece off the back here because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to take this, which also has the Highland Heather on the back, and just kind of pull that little masking tape stuff off the paper like so, because it was really just to kind of hold it in place. And then we're going to take real tape and we're going to run it all the way down. We're going to take our card and we're going to fold it in like so. Now we're going to take this piece and snail it up, and we're going to fit it right inside that piece you just laid down like that. Now that this piece is in, we might as well go ahead and put in the inside part that we stamped earlier and just put it in the middle. So now the inside of the card's done. Now we're going to do the last bit of stamping, and that's just the little happy birthday right here. And I decided not to put it on a sentiment tag or anything because there's so much dimensional up there anyway. So we're going to take that happy birthday, and it's from Pansy Patch, it's right here, and use the magenta. And I'm doing this first so I know where not to put a flower. And also I'm going to stick my head in here, sorry. I don't want anything in the way when I stamp this, so it'll look like that. Now the final assembly. So I'm going to snail the stems that we did. And I'm using my silicone craft sheet here so nothing sticks. And I'm going to put one right on the bottom like that. I'm going to take another one and I'm going to go this direction here and take that final one and go this direction like that. Now I've already taken all these and put the dimensionals on them and taken off the little paper here and just put them upside down on my craft sheet. This won't stick. And I'm going to put a long one here and a short one here, and then do the opposite on the other side and the opposite on this side. So I've got all my petals on first. Now for the flowers, I'm going to put a flower here, and then I'm going to put this one here, and then I'm going to put this one here. And then I thought it looked really pretty with the pastel pearls to do the whites in the middle like so. And then I'm going to take my blue adhesive back gems. Now if you've been with Stampin' Up! A while, you'll recognize these. They brought them back from one of the holiday catalogs, I think either last year or the year before. So I'm taking the lighter blue ones and I'm putting them on this side of the card. And I guess this would be a fun fold card. I'm going to put it as a fun fold card because we did something fun and we folded it. I don't know. Anyway, so that is basically the card. And guess what? I give away the demo card. So if you are a first-time subscriber, put in my comments your email and that you want to win the demo card, and I'll email you back and let you know if you won. So that'll do it for me. Thanks. Bye.